Hello, welcome back. It's just hello. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, I'm very late. I was busy with something, but I still have the energy, so here we are. Let's continue from yesterday. Finally, we are out of the depressive Maria's diary. Congratulations on 77 YouTube subscribers. You you knew this before me, but thank you. I haven't checked. Don't know where that came from, but thank you. Okay, let's go. 7 is a lucky number. Yep. Let's aim for 777 or something. It was a pitch black room. Wait, are we not outside depression? There were no windows. Oh, okay. I thought we still stuck with Losa or something. That would be horrible. Did she die in the first, Star Wars? Don't forget that you are an AI. You have implemented functions to count my new subscribers. Thank you. You're more useful than YouTube analytics. Yep. Delight. Hello. Are you doing well? Have I ever played Mad Father? I do not play horror games. Unfortunately, I know there's a lot of you who wish to see me suffer in horror games, but nope. I probably wouldn't be playing horror games. I already watched someone play the games. It looks good. Although there were some jump scare, so that's gonna be minus point to probability of me playing the game. That's not a horror game. It's just an RPG game. I watched someone play that. You're not gonna get me. Nuh-uh. I have the information. I have the database. Oh, that was hard to say. It appeared to be an old, forgotten, dusty underground storehouse with some kind of furniture haphazardly thrown into it. One day you get me. Okay, despite me hate playing horror games, I like watching other people play the game. Yep. So I probably know a lot of horror games, just that I wouldn't play it. What, are we in jail? Let me out! However, even with just a little light, one could at least tell that it probably wasn't a storehouse. It could be, because that room was sealed off with iron bars. I think some storehouse does have that. Technically, every game can be a horror one. I know, right? Like this one. Well, it's not a game, it's a visual novel. But that counts.
ここはどこなの?
Waifu!
わからん。ここは屋敷の地下なのか。
You tell me.
食堂の真下にこんな部屋があったのか。
What a here static. They had been dropped into what had appeared to be a pit and fallen into this room. Where did that? What? Therefore, it would be appropriate to think that this room was directly below the dining hall. However, not even Krause could bring himself to believe that there were pitfalls rigged in the beloved dining hall. You don't know Kinsa? He could be putting traps everywhere, where he had enjoyed his meals for years. And that directly below it was this dungeon-like room. I think what's actually happened is Oh, I thought before that, like previous episodes, they were dragged and then get shot. So maybe this time people got dragged. Then some of them were shot, and then some others were transported somewhere else, I guess. But it wasn't Liu. Sorry. I wish they were Liu. No, all 5 people who had been dropped here thought the same thing. Although they had felt a sensation of being dropped into a pit, there was no way there could be pitfalls in the dining hall, nor could this dungeon-like place be directly underneath it. Maybe Kinso really likes RPG. But in point of fact, they had fallen into this place and were locked in. And so they were confused. Me
あ
too.
の高さから落ちて誰も怪我をしなかったのは不運かもしれませんな。
Wow, how does that happen?
シャン、カノン、君たちはこんな部屋の存在は知っていたかね。
いいえ
I don't believe you. Was the food poison? I think so. I think in some. I think in every episode, I do give like possibilities to poison food, but probably not lethal poison. I think at most it's a sleeping pills or something. Then they were transported, then they were killed or something.
僕たちもこのような部屋のことは存じかねます。
There were no vomits in this story, so there's probably no lethal poison.
本当に
本当です。本当にこの部屋知りません。
What's that static? It seemed that Kire thought that there was a good chance that despite their age, they might know of the mansion's secret tricks as servants permitted the one-winged eagle. Don't trust them, waifu. The servants are with them. So we have not Liu Qs, and we have to find a Liu Q killer. I don't know what does Liu Qs means. People are actually dying based on previous episodes. I think. But yeah, I guess you have to find the Liu killers. There was a long silence as if evaluating their answer.
いや、シャノンたちが知らないのは事実だろう。
How do you know? Well, I said that because in episode 1, I think it was canon. Episode 2, I think it was Shannon.
何しろ、綺麗好きのシャノンだ。彼女がこの部屋を知っていたなら、もっとピカピカに磨き上げているだろう。
What was that basis?
この部屋の汚さが、君たちがこの部屋を知らないことの証だ。
Okay. It is extra funny because Klaus was like shown in the story to be the worst person in judging like characters and personalities. So, and couple that with me suspecting Canon and Shannon, that that was very good
今はそんなことより、
for him to say
これ
this.
からどうするかの方が先決だと思わんかね。その通りです。
Nah, Klaus is a bro. I mean, he's a good person, but he's not too smart as far as like trusting people.
警察に、それから救急にも早く電話をしなければ。
You say that like you have a smartphone. Nanjo. Nanjo's word. Lang hollow. Where are the phones? 6 people had been killed in the dining hall. They had all witnessed the exact moments when the 6 had been killed. And what's more, it had been done by half destroying their heads. Anyone could tell with just a single glance that they had been dealt a fatal injury. Everyone understood that calling for an ambulance now would be completely meaningless.
ありがとう南條先生
Arigato, Nanjo Sensei. Where's the phone?
私たちは伴侶がもう生きてはいないことを理解できてる
Oh, is it all of their partners? Oh, it's not confirmed that they died. Interesting. I guess until Pastorale get to it, then we will never know. I think she died. Both died. He died? I don't remember. Okay, so that's 4. And then, who? Him? Should it be 6? My memory. Oh, and probably low size dead. There we go. 6 people.
気休めでも救急と言い添えてくれてありがとう
Thank you, waifu. That was like 2 weeks ago. You don't remember either. Fair enough. Waifu. Once again, an oppressive silence took control of them. But Krause shook his head harshly over and over and decided just for now to forget the pain of losing his wife. The phantom pain, Metal Gear, and dedicate himself to figuring out where they were.
みんな聞きたまえ親父はもうダメだ口で言って理解や説明が求められる段階にもうない
You're gonna fight back or what's going on? What is my name again? I am. Call me Major Tom. Okay, I don't know why I reference Metal Gear. Nobody answered. Without any kind of discussion or mercy, 6 people had been killed in an instant. And Kinso had so boldly proclaimed for them to become sacrifices in a 13-person murder ritual, since they had been locked up in this place. They too would probably become the ritual's next sacrifices before long. Okay, AK-47. Why must I be that gun? Can't I be at least a P90? Around this time, their eyes were becoming used to the dankness, and bit by bit, they were starting to be able to make out the dungeon's interior. What they thought was furniture haphazardly left in the dungeon turned out not to be furniture at all. When they say furniture, do they mean the servants or actual furnitures? There were small cages that could be used to imprison a single person, restraining tables? Or were those torture racks? What is this house? A CIA safe house? At any rate, it was obviously more ghastly than a mere jail cell. Since those objects were lusted and covered in thick layers of dust, there were no doubt that they had long been forgotten. Maybe you could even have called those things Kinso sealed and forgotten madness. Non-safe for work dungeon. Nah. This is a wholesome mansion. However, it was this room in which they had now been locked away. Those objects weren't exactly comforting to people who were locked up, hoping to be released without harm. Okay. How are we gonna... They're gonna break through this. Yeah, just get out. Just that easy. Open the door. Let's go.
私たちは伴侶や友人を失い涙を流すことに時間を費やしたいが
The owner of this place is Kiyaseo. You tell me.
今はそれ以上に子供たちの身が心配だ
お子様方はご無事でしょうか。
They're fine.
祈るしかない。
Oh no, they're with Maria. They're not safe. We must help them for Maria right now.
そういえば熊沢さんと郷田さんはここにはいないな。
ひょっとすると無事に逃げ延びられたのかも。
You sure?
かもしれませんな。子供たちと合流しててくれれば心強いのですが。
Hime?
郷田さんはいざという時頼りになるし、熊沢さんは経験豊富で落ち着いてるし。
Okay, sorry. Is it me or I heard statics? Like every time they speak things or something. Give me some moment. Oh no, then I guess it's not just me. Cool. So weird. Okay, we will restart this and hopefully the problem is solved. Oh no, I can still hear that? Let's see if I can do something about that. You think it's the OST like this? No, I don't think so. Why would there be like a out of place statics? That'd be weird. Give me some moment. I don't know if I can solve this, but I will try. Wasn't like this last time though, so I'm a bit confused.
郷田さんはいざという時頼りになるし、熊沢さんは経験豊富で落ち着いてるし。
Okay, it's gone now. That was weird. Wait, what did I do? I don't remember. Oh well, whatever.
きっと力になってくれると思います。
そうだといいがな。
Shannon and Krause smile bitterly, a little. But they quickly realized how improper that was and stopped clearing their throats.
楽観はできないよ、姉さん。僕らに続いて、もう襲われてしまってる可能性だってある。
Wait, Canon, you have a sword. Can you cut the sail?
同感ね。
The iron bar. Sorry.
お父様が食堂で執行したのは魔女の碑文の第1の番の6人殺しなんでしょ。なら第2の番は寄り添いし2人を引き裂け。
Well, I can see that the only people close to each other is Canon and
逃げ隠
Shannon.
れて寄り添っている郷田さんと熊沢さんがもう殺されている可能性だって否定できないわ。きっとゲストハウスに合流してて子供たちを守ってくれているなんて楽観。
You think they
現時点で
can?
は全くできないわよ。
You think they can protect children from guns? Kire coldly analyzed the worst case scenario. Even for her, it was heartbreaking to have lost her beloved husband. But right now, the most important thing was protecting that husband's son, along with the other children, from becoming sacrifices to the insane family head. They can protect children with their bodies. Right. Because they only have, like what, 2 ammo. She overcame her sadness with the parental urge to protect the children. It seemed that both Kire and Krause were strong enough to forget the grief, if only for the time being. They could let their tears flow later, or never at all, if I know this game enough. For now, in order to protect the children, they had to act.
とにかくここを脱出しよ
You keep saying that, but how?
う。相当古い牢屋のようだ。なんとか鉄格子を破れないだろうか。
Could be top quality stainless
室
steel.
内をくまなく探して脱出手段を探してみよう。
ここにはガラクタがいろいろあるわ。何か役に立ちそうな道具とか落ちてないかしら。
Why would there be junks in the jail cell? Just become a Terminator. I wish.
武器になるものがあるかもしれないし、鉄格子を破れるものがあるかもしれない。
Yeah, a convenient hammer. That'd be cool. Did they put a lighter from her pocket? They didn't check her pocket. She herself didn't smoke, but she kept one tucked away in her pocket to light Ludolphus' cigarettes. It was an extremely valuable source of light for searching through this dim and dank dungeon.
シャノンはキリエさんを手伝い、室内を探索してくれ。
Oh god. It's still making statics. What's going on?
カノンは私と一緒に鉄格子の具合を確かめてみよう。これだけ古い牢屋だ。ひょっとするとガタが来ているかもしれない。
Okay.
私は何をお手伝いしましょうか。
Sit tight.
体力を温存していてください。やがてここに親父殿が現れるだろう。
The actor in Terminator 2 trained himself to become liquid. No. Almost had me. You had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
親父殿に言葉が届くのは南條先生だけです。ある意味、南條先生に我々の命は握られているかもしれない。
Yeah, power of friendship.
私の言葉などもう届きはせんでしょう。申し訳ないが、そのお役には立てそうにない。
Well, if nothing else, we can use Ninja's body as a weapon. Yep. Like how Knuckle throw Sonics and Tails in Sonic Heroes. Yep.
なら南條先生のお医者としての知識を貸してください。人間を即座に混沌させるような毒って存在するのかしら。
I don't know actually. Are there? Like does fentanyl do that?
人間を即座に混沌させる毒？どういうことですか？
私たちは落とし穴に落とされてこの地下牢に落ちてきたと信じている。
Hear me? Oh, what if they actually deploy like a fentanyl gas? Wow. The determination, the what's it called? The commitment to immersion.
あの混乱している場で私たちはそうだったろうと信じたわ。でもこの地下牢の広さを測ってみて分かった。この地下牢があの食堂の地下というのはありえないことなのよ。
Okay, but wouldn't your first instinct after fainting and waking up somewhere else is that you assume that someone transported you to the other place, not that you fell into a pit in a perfectly normal room. Like these people feels really, what's it called, out of touch with reality.
どうしてありえないってわかるんですか？
姉さんはバカだな。この地下牢は食堂に比べて狭すぎる。
Well, but what if there's a funnel in the middle and you are all collected in the funnel? Everyone is out of touch in this game. That's true. I understand.
その通り。1番目に落とされたのはクラウス兄さん。2番目が私。クラウス兄さんはこの部屋に落ちてきた時その場を動いたかしら。
お恥ずかしながら落下の痛みでうめいていたよ。 そのすぐ傍らに桐江さんがすぐに落ちてきたんだ。
食堂でのクラウス兄さんと私の立ち位置と落下時の落下場所の距離が明らかにおかしいのよ。
Okay, they're not gonna pull the all this sequence is all made up. Cool.
確かに言われてみればその通りです。その次に落ちたのは私だからお二人の位置関係はよく覚えている。
Like, are they not having this conversation? Are they actually died? And this is like a the story according to the message in the bottle or someone's delusion or something.
食堂でのお二人の間の距離はこの部屋よりもあったかもしれない。
私たちは落とし穴に落ちてダイレクトにここに落下したわ。集合する下水道管みたいに一度集められてからここに落ちたわけじゃない。
I said something like that first.
落下は一瞬だったでしょ。そんな凝った排水管みたいな穴を転がされた覚えはないわ。
Wait, I thought you faint. What?
確かに落とし穴では説明がつかんな。
Wait. Were they unconscious? Or were they perfectly cognizant throughout the entire ordeal?
おかしな話だ。
I'm confused.
それと桐江様のおっしゃる人間を即座に混沌させる毒というのはどう関係があるんですか？
Well, if they were unconscious and then they said, I don't remember that there's a pipe that connect us together. Like, how would you know? Okay, I'll drink some water. Maybe it's a imperfection in the story to make us to hint that it's like a message in a bottle that was written by someone who doesn't really know, I guess.
桐江様は多分食堂に落とし穴なんかなかったとお考えなんじゃないかな。
Now you say that?
し
Okay.
かし現に私たちは落ちたぞ。
But I thought you were
落と
unconscious.
し穴に落ちたような気がするが正解よ。
Yeah, so you fainted. Okay.
無理もないわ。そうとしか例えられない体験だったから。
なるほど。
Okay. I have fainted before when I was really young and pretty big. So it doesn't feel like you are falling into a pit or a hole. It's just fall. Like, I know there's a ground. So, I don't... What?
つまりこうおっしゃいたいわけですな。私たちは落とし穴に落とされたのではなく、例えば毒矢のようなもので撃たれ瞬時に意識を失い、その倒れて床に突っ伏す瞬間の記憶を。
Okay, that too. But really blow that. Why did I faint in the past? I have absolutely no idea. It was in elementary school. It was like a not really PE, but you walk a bit. But I don't know. I also don't understand because normally I'm not that weak or sickly normally, but that day for some reason I stand up from sitting on the ground like with everybody else. I stand up, walk a bit, then suddenly my vision turned like purple and then darkness and then I'm on the ground. Magic. That's what it was.
まるで落とし穴に落ちたよと思い込んでしまっているのかもしれないと。
I wasn't hungry or anything, if I remember correctly. So everyone was confused. I was confused. Is my blood pressure okay? I haven't checked that before, but I'm okay now. I mean, after elementary school, I don't have anything like that happen again, ever.
なるほど。食堂に無数の落とし穴が仕掛けられていて、我々がそれに何十年も気づかず食事をしていたとするよりは、よほど
姉さん、
Oops, sorry. Wow, he yapped too long. Okay.
時計はある。
うん。懐中時計があるわよ。
How did you... Okay.
22時40分くらいね。
PM?
僕の時計もそうなってる。
Okay. What does that tell us?
つまり僕たちは食堂での大騒ぎから十数分も時間を経過させてないってことになる。
Okay.
私の時計も同様だ。
Then it wasn't that far. Cool.
我々が混沌させられてどこかへ担ぎ込まれたと仮定するには時間の経過が短すぎる。
Okay, or maybe this scene is all made up. Cool.
時間
Thanks,
だけ
game.
を見るな
Not
ら、や
game.
はり我々は食堂の真下へ
When I suddenly
落とし
stand up,
穴で落とされたと考えるのが妥当だ。
when I suddenly stand up, my blood pressure can fall down. Maybe I drank too little water that day. Oh, or maybe. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I do get lightheadedness when I was young. But I think I drink I don't know what adequate amount of water means in this context. Okay, thank you for the hydration. Well, who knows? Maybe streaming make me more healthier from water. Refreshing.
時計の針なんていくらでもいじれるわ。私たちが気絶している間に全員の時計を巻き戻したのかもしれない。
Okay, the static is getting worse and worse. I don't know what to do. Last time it was okay. Okay, let me try something else before people get annoyed by the static. I don't know. I hear the static very clearly. This time for sure, please.
時計の針なんていくらでもいじれるわ。
Wow, it's getting worse and worse, aren't we? Let me restart the thing. I've played this off stream to test before, but it doesn't have that problem. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, give me some seconds. Or maybe it's this scene that's problematic. Who knows? No, I don't have any problems with physical exercise, right? Nope. In these days, I like assert physical things, force, behavior way more than when I was young, and I feel perfectly okay. No lightheadedness, no nothing. Hear me.
時計の針なんていくらでもいじれるわ。
Oh, why is this happening? Okay. Interesting. I have no idea what happened between then and now. Oh, actually, I faint probably 3 times in my lifetime, but it was back when I was very young. I think the first time was when I was in kindergarten. I hope that I pronounced that correctly. Can I turn off music in options just to try? Oh, that should be interesting. Okay, I'll try that. But let me see. Although the static in old days is indicative of latency issue or something. I don't know. But let me adjust something first. And we'll see how that goes. You want to know everything about my health? Is this am I visiting a doctor? In kindergarten, I fainted and hit my forehead. You're not a doctor yet. The keyword is yet. So that one,
時計の針なんていくらでもいじれるわ。
I was brought to a hospital, but since I was very young, so I have no idea what happened. I have no idea what they say. So many difficult words, and so I don't know what was, if there's any, the diagnosis, the English, wow, diagnosis. There we go. Okay, we'll pause my story for now.
私たちが気絶している間に全員の時計を巻き戻したのかもしれない。
Oh, it's gone now. Wait, what did I do? I don't remember.
その可能性がなかったことは証明不能よ。
Oh, I think I turn off with sync and change the audio what's it called, like a back end, I think. Okay. Finally, the static was very annoying.
落とし穴にせよ、混沌させる毒にせよ、私たちは用心するに越したことはないというわけですな。
それで南條先生。
Wait a minute. Okay, let's assume that this scene is not all made up. I mean, they didn't, well, the enemies did not confiscate the clocks. And I think Shannon and Canon is in on it. But anyway, so they could rewind all the clocks that they have to make them think that only 10 minutes have passed. There we go. I solved the case. How much time has passed? Ooh, 10... for more than 10 years already.
混沌させる毒は存在するんですか？
それはキリエさんの論法と同じですな。私の知らない未知の毒物にそういう効用のものがないとは証明できません。
用心に越したことはないということね。ごめんなさい。無駄な質問だったわ。
What did they say? Hmm.
ただ私の仮説によりこの地下牢が食堂の真下とは限らないという可能性は示唆できたと思う。
Probably okay. Show your blood pressure from time to time. Okay, thank you.
なるほど。 広大な森の中のどこかに隠されていると噂される。親父殿の隠し屋敷の地下牢に運び込まれている可能性もあるということか。
I can donate blood. I don't know if regularly is the right word. Where I am, you can only donate blood every 3 months. So I try to do that, and I've done that like more than 10 times, and I'm still okay. So I guess I'm pretty good. Hear me?
ここを脱出して外へ出ればそれもわかる。
send my medical card. I don't have medical card. Like I heard that, but where I am, I don't have one. Like I have like an ID card for a hospital, but there's no information or anything. Like if I understand correctly, like in some country or whatever, the card have some information, right? But here there's nothing. That's only your name. So you need to insert the card somewhere in the machine and for you to have the information.
それを詮索するのはここから出てからでもいいだろうな。
その通りね。本当にごめんなさい。さっきから無駄な質問と詮索ばかりだわ。
いや、とても頼もしいよ。
Did they actually gas the room with sleeping gas? Now this is ready or not? Put your hands in there!
今後も何かに気づいたら教えてくれたまえ。ここを脱出する何かのヒントになるかもしれない。ルドルフからいつも聞かされていたよ。君の発想にはいつも驚かされ、時には重要なヒントにもなるとね。
Yep, she's my waifu.
君がここにいてくれたのは不幸中の幸いだ。
ありがとう。私もルドルフさんに聞いてるわ。クラウス兄さんは普段は威張っているけれど、いざという時は責任感にあふれる頼りがいのある兄だって。
Oh, is he now?
さすがにそれは世辞が過ぎるね。くそ。それにしても頑丈な鉄格子だ。カノンの方はどうかね。
いえ、こちらも全く。
Can you lockpick? Klaus and Cannon tried wiggling each other's bars. Wiggle. In various ways. There were a few bars that could be twisted, and a few felt like they had enough room to rattle around a little bit. But even so, they could not be broken with human strength alone. But what about furniture strength? However, there was still hope if they could use some kind of lever-like tool. It was still far too early to give up yet. I mean, Cannon is a furniture. Can we use him as a lever-like tool? The shooters' lives were hanging in the balance. Even if there was no hope, they couldn't stop their struggle. And it was better even for them to act this way. If they were to stop, there was no doubt that they would once again be overcome by the grief of losing their loved ones and crouch down, clutching their knees.
キリエさんたちの方はどうかね。
I'm surprised that Kire doesn't know how to lockpick.
何か見つかったかね。
握って隠せる程度の石ころは見つかるわ。こんな
Okay.
ものでも武器にはなるかも。
Yeah, throw stones! Is this Final Fantasy tactics?
さすがに鉄格子を削り取ることは無理でしょうね。シャノンちゃんはどう？
いいえ、何も。
How about we fake dead? So the captor will be so surprised that they would unlock the door themselves, and then we bomb rush them. There we go. What the?
これ、電話です。
How? Why?
繋がってるわけもないわ。
You want to interrogate me about my health? To be fair, there's nothing more to say. Me think.
でも コードは何かを縛ったり武器にも使えるかも。壊して分解すれば金属部品を取り出せるわ。クラウス兄さん、鉄格子を開ける鍵穴はもちろんあるわよね。
Oh.
ああ、だいぶ鍵穴の大きい大時代的なものだがね。針金のようなものでいじれば騙せるかもしれないな。
Now you're talking. Lockpick. There's a couple of things don't tempt you. Okay. No more tempting.
電話の金属部品で何か代用できるかもしれない。
Oh.
その電話、武器になるわね。
We gonna lockpick this. Like Skyrim.
投資と同じだよ。情報は武器だ。
Klaus and Kire laughed together at this way of putting the phone to use, which didn't remotely look at it as a means of communication. Can you...
何やってんの姉さん。
Maybe you could try calling the guest house.
その電話つながってるかなって思って。
バカだな姉さんは。
Eh?
あれ
Suddenly, Shannon let out a small, surprised cry.
キリエ様、
What?
この電話つながってます。
How do you know? Oh, the lines. But, okay.
なんですって？
It was like when people move out of an office, taking everything with them, leaving only the telephone behind. Oh, the music! That's the feeling the phone gave off, having been left in the corner of the sale. The cord was wound, or wound, I don't know, into a coil, one end of it being swallowed by the wall. Does anyone here have a thief class? I fully expect Kire to have a thief class. Like, she's smart. Like, street smart. No, I actually expect Ludolfu to have one, but, you know, she's the waifu. Oh, whoops, I didn't read that. And at a glance, it looked as if it could possibly be connected, but to think that it actually was. Kire took the receiver from Shannon and pressed it to her ear. The electric hum was certainly the one with which she was familiar. I've never listened to the what's it called, like a house phone that are disconnected from outside, so I will never know how that sound. Who's the paladin? Who's the mage? Nanjo is Acrylic or a priest. Klaus could be a paladin. Who knows? Well, Shannon could do barrier magic, so I guess she's a mage. And Canon can manifest a huge sword, well, not that huge, a big sword from his arm. So I guess he's like a warrior. Yep. Class is a merchant? Oh, okay, that works too. Well, maybe there's no paladin. What a shame. This phone was indeed live on Twitch.
なんという幸運。
Yeah.
警察へ連絡しましょう。
No way.
待ちたまえ。話がうますぎる。
True.
盗聴されているんじゃないのかね。
Well, bug or not, I guess you could try.
そんな細工するくらいなら普通は電話線を切断するわ。
Yeah, but you're in a reality show.
電柱が本気で見落とした可能性が高い。気づかれたら今度こそ電話線を切断されるかもしれないわ。
Call the police.
警察への通報を盗聴されて何も困ることはないのだし。
That did make sense. The point of a wiretap was to overhear some important piece of information. What is the difference if it is bug or not? I know, right? Like, just call them. Just call the police. I mean, if it was bugged, then they just knew that we called the police I mean, what are they gonna do? Kill us all? I mean, I thought that was the original plan. That makes sense. The plan of Vtube was to overhear some important piece of information. But the way things were now, they could not think of a single thing that could come up in a conversation to the outside world that could be troublesome to have heard. Well, don't talk about your secret then. Kira instantly concluded that it was more likely to be a mistake on Kinso's part than a trap.
確かに一理あります。
I think the phone doesn't connect to the outside of the island. It only works internally. But sure, I would try.
外線は確か0番からだ。
What if this is all a challenge to test who is worthy or something? How do you remember that? Could be.
カノ君、私は電話するから、あなたは外の様子を伺ってくれる？
Yeah, what did Nanjo say? You start with zero to make calls to the outside. How does he know? I don't know.
誰かが近づいてくる気配があったら知らせて。
Yeah, use your sixth sense.
はい。
Cannon raced off towards the iron bar, silenced his breathing and strained his ears. As everyone present watched her, Kire dialed 110. However, she pushed the hook down repeatedly and redialed. It didn't seem to be working very well.
外線は0番から110番は0110じゃないの？うまくかからない。
貸したまえ。私がかけよう。
Call your friends. Krause took the receiver in Kire's place and tested what it stings. Call the SWAT team. But in the end, the negotiation have failed. You're clear to move in. No, but in the end, they were unable to notify the police. The phone itself was definitely live, but the circuit was apparently cut somewhere. Did this mean that they were not so naive?
やっぱり無理ですか。
敵も甘くはないってことね。
Kira let out a deep sigh, leaned against the wall, and hung her head for a while. As tough a girl as she was, for a brief moment she might actually have had the naive hope that the phone could actually work. She sneered at herself mockingly for holding onto that naive hope for even one moment. What if there's two group of people and they can call each other? Yeah, that's the kids. In the safe house. With Maria, which, in my opinion, they're in danger because they're with Maria. Yeah, they probably have phones in the guest house, right? But why? Why did they like leave the phone there? Like I feel like it's pretty clear that they want the two groups to communicate with each other, but I don't know for what. And then she thought back upon just what was happening here. Wow, the voice crack. Honestly, despite having been shown such a thing right before her eyes, or rather, exactly because of that, she still couldn't think of the gruesome mass murder as something real. It was less that she couldn't believe it, and more that she didn't want to. Oh my god, the eyes. You can't! Go! I choose you! That's the Pokemon trainer pose. Right there. All these hungry games. Hungry games. not Hunger Games. Hungry Games. That works too. To test everyone. Probably. Ushimaya Kinso had killed 6 members of his family. Vin Diesel would not be very proud. He has summoned strange, witch-like demon-like people right out of thin air. Waifu? And with something like magic, he had begun to kill people one after another. Dots. Too much to handle. Okay, this is fake, isn't it? Like the entire scene is just makeup now. Even though she definitely saw it, there was no way she could accept the spectacle.
そんなことあるわけがない。あれはきっとお父様の友人か何か。
Yep, yep.
それがあらかじめ食堂のどこかに隠れていて、手品的に突然姿を現して私たちを驚かせただけなんだわ。
True, true. It was a cosplayer.
そう考えなくちゃあのめちゃくちゃを説明できない。
But when those six had had their heads blown apart, a golden arrow had flown around and around the room that had truly looked like magic. Nah, it's a United States secret weapon. Was that another thing we just saw wrong? There's no way it was magic. It was the same bullet that Oswald used. Surely, there must be some kind of trick to it. Since it was capable of smashing heads, there's no doubt it was some explosive. So you're saying that the Winchester can explode your head? For example, a styling toy plane like they sell at candy stores painted gold and with a powerful explosive loaded onto the end of it. Okay, that's reaching. That said, at a glance, it has seemed to be flying at random. Kide couldn't imagine that such a thing could be fired 6 times, and each time perfectly hit the victim square in the head, one after the other. Must be loaded with ChatGPT. Surely its flight wasn't computer controlled. To seek out and deliver precise hits on its targets, which would make it a high-tech styling plane on the same level as a guided missile. I mean, it's Kinso. Anything could happen.
そんなバカバカしい仕掛けを膨大な私費を投じて作らせたと。あのおかしな余興のために。
True,
お
true.
父様ならやりかねないって。
A number of mysterious people had appeared suddenly out of thin air. 6 people had had their heads demolished by a mysterious golden flying object. And the 5 of us were locked away in a mysterious dungeon by a mysterious set of pitfalls, or else put to sleep by some fainting poison dart. All food. Why did they not suspect the food? The family conference started a bit after 10 p.m. It's only been about 30 minutes since then. Probably. Those events which took place in such a short amount of time, none of us are able to understand nor come to grips with, even though we witnessed them ourselves. Sorry, I cleared my throat. Even if we did get a hold of the police, it would probably be impossible for any of us to accurately explain what we saw. I may only just have witnessed it, but my brains fried and I have no confidence even in what I myself saw. No thoughts, hastily. Kide had to try her hardest to rouse herself from her overwhelming confusion just to hold onto her sanity. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
くそ、どうなってるんだ。
You tell me.
くそ。
Crowds started to become desperate, hitting the hook multiple times and redoubling over and over. From whose POV are we seeing this? Probably no one. Like, it's not a first-person view right now, I think. It's like a third-person view. He too was feigning composure but was unable to hide his panic. The more he dialed, the more the pretense of serenity peeled away. None of this makes any sense. Kide couldn't help but pray that the events that had just occurred were no more than a dream. Suddenly, the look on Cloud's face changed. Oh? Hear me?
呼び出してる。呼び出してるぞ。
True to who?
コロンがする。
Ding ding.
本当ですか、クラウスさん。
Moshi moshi.
なるほどな。親父め、浅はかな。
What?
警察に連絡されまいと外部への電話線は切断したらしいが、内線は切断し損ねている。
I think it's intentional, but go on. So all of this, Maria made up or somebody from this group told her of this. I think now it's not the story from Maria's diary. So in episode 1, 2, and 3, I think we followed the POV of Batala. He's playing like a chess game with Beatrice, with the game being solving the mystery of the murders, but with slightly different story in each episode. Then on episode 4, the POV shift from them to the future, which is more like a present, which is the surviving member of the murder, which is Angel. So the story about Maria and Losa, and sometimes Maria and Beatrice, that's when Angel is reading the diary. But now we came back to the game between these two lovebirds to solve the mystery. So technically, we are in the past.
内戦？クラウスさんはどこにかけているの？
ゲストハウスだ。
Of course! Wow, you're so smart.
ジェシカたちの部屋の内線番号にかけている。もしもし。
もしもし？
もしもし。私だ。お前は誰か？ゴーダか？ジェシカはいるか？無事か？
Oh, so they're in the room. Maybe.
旦那様。
So the thing is, from episode 1, 2, 3, sometimes the narrator is not that reliable. I think the most reliable scenes are scenes that Batala himself is there. Because it seems that Batala is the main character in the story. So I guess everything is at least happening on his point of view. Why when we left his point of view, it's probably just a narration based on the messages or fabricated stories in the present days, I think.
ご無事でよかった。はい。ジェシカお嬢様たちも皆さんご無事です。
Oh, good.
父さんなの？無事でよかった。母さんは無事なの？そこにいるの？
Klaus is shocked on his words. Klaus had clearly seen Nasa his head crushed, had seen her killed right before his eyes. Eventually, he was going to have to tell that to Jessica. However, Klaus began to fret over whether he should tell her this very moment and lost his words. But even that was an answer under these circumstances.
母さん
Or
は
seven.
わからない。無事を祈ろう。今はお前だけでも無事でよかった。
Ooh. Jessica's voice was filled with tears. There was no doubt for Klaus anymore. So, I think for an example, in this scene, we can say that whatever happened inside this mysterious cell rooms, jail, whatever, is probably fake. But when there's a phone call into the guest house which has Pastorale in it, we can assume, at least I would assume, that there's actually a phone call, and Jessica is probably actually talking to someone. But whether Krause is in the other end of the line, we wouldn't know because Pastorale is not hearing the things from Krause's side. But I can assume that Pastorale hears Jessica and Goda pretty clearly because he's in the same room. So I would assume that the perception in the guest house is Liu, while in this room, we will never know, I guess. What if Pastorale is a Liu killer in all episodes and he lies the most, like he's in the police department and gave his point of view? Okay, well, that is possible. But in his game with the Golden Witch Beatrice, she has the power to just outright say what's true or not. So so if she says something with a red colored text, it's Liu without question. Like she has no obligation to back it up with evidence. If she says it in red, then it's Liu. And so far, whatever she says, it does collaborate with whatever Pastorale have seen English. Also, if the main character point of view is fake, I think this makes mystery stories pretty bad. I think, because now you can't trust anything, and then there's no reason to keep thinking, and then people were just gonna be cruising through the story. So hopefully he's not the murderer, at least in these episodes. Magic is not Liu Yuki. I can't fool you. That's true. Is there similarities between episodes? So every episode will have these same people. They have the same personalities, but sometimes they act differently because sometimes something different happen. But at least it seems that the murderers are different across episodes. At least I think so, because they never outright confirm who's the murderer in each episode. But yeah, I brought the long listening in the Discord, so hopefully I'm right. At least nearly there. And it's the same place. It's Lokenjima Mansion every time. You're interested now. Hit me. And watch the bot too if you want. But hopefully my summary is enough. Jessica and the others had been told everything, start to finish, by Goda and Kumasawa when they had met up at the guest house. After they learned the 6 whole people had been killed, Jessica and the others must have been in a frenzy about wanting to go to the dining hall. Luckily, he had been able to call before they stormed off towards the mansion. Krause was relieved at his good timing during such tragedy. Okay, but what if Goda and Kumasawa were there to stop them from going to the mansion so that they can do this song and dance with the phones? Like, who knows?
ここには今キリエさんと南條先生、それにシャノンとカノンがいる。
Oh, I could in this scene I could assume that Jessica is literally talking to Klaus because I don't think Jessica is in on it with the murders. Like none of the episodes suggested that. So unless the other side of the core is someone else, but threaten her to play along, then we can assume that at this time, which is probably 10:30 p.m. according to these people watch, Klaus is still alive without question.
地下牢のようなところに閉じ込められているが心配するな。
But someone else could die. Like Kire maybe not here anymore. But the narration is just messing with us.
こっちは父さんたちで何とかする。
Dungeon?
どこ助けに行く
Okay, so he did say that.
あいにく私たちにもここがどこだか見当もつかん。食堂の真下だと思っているがそうでないかもしれない。
Under the table?
とにかくジェシカ、そこを出てはならん。ゴーダたちから経緯は聞いているか。
What did he say? The Goda.
みんなを慕って
おじい様は今
Awesome.
正常な状態にない。出くわせば危険だ。殺されるかもしれない。私たちを助けに来ようなどと絶対に思ってはならんぞ。こっちはこっちで何とかする。
Oh, and so far, magics never happen in front of Bartala. Like, magic happens everywhere except in front of Bartala for some reason.
じゃあ私たちはどうすればいいの
Sit there and twiddle your thumbs.
小さなねよくも母さんたちを
Yeah, how dare he?
あの死に損ないぶっ殺してやる
Calm down.
ジェシカ、そんな言葉を使ったら母さんが悲しむぞ。レディーはそんな言葉を使うもんじゃない。
Now it's the time to say that. Cuckoo. Aww.
とにかくお前たちは身の安全を最優先にしろ。ゲストハウスを戸締まりするんだ。
I'm surprised that Lokenjima doesn't have like a anti-terrorism measures. Like they are the richest, one of the richest family in Japan. Like I feel like the danger of some insane criminal trying to take over the island is always there. Like I would make sure that there's some safe room with satellite phones and everything.
しかし過信はできない。1階のラウンジの大窓は破られるかもしれない。その部屋にとどまり、ベッドを立てかけてバリケードにするんだ。その部屋にはトイレも冷蔵庫もあるな。明日の朝までは籠城できるはずだ。いいな。くれぐれも物騒なことは考えるな。母さんの仇を取ろうなんて絶対に考えるんじゃないぞ。相手を刺激せず隠れてやり過ごすことだけを考えるんだ。
分かったよ父さん
Does Batalan know about witches and magic? Well, he has to know because the entire game stems from Beatrice appear in front of Batala, and Batala says, "Nah, you don't exist." And Beatrice be like, "How dare you deny me? Now that we must play games." You know, you want to play games? Jigsaw, no. So Batala knew about the magics, but he doesn't believe that people got killed by magics. So they're playing games to see Well, I misspoke that they're playing like who's the murderer. Actually, the goal for Pastorale is to find out how the murders were committed, not by magics, but by humans. Although I think for the leaders, for us, our goal is probably to find why who make this happen, the murder, and why does it happen, and how. After that, Kora took the phone and was told again to watch over the children as a responsible adult. Kora repeatedly replied, "Yes, sir," in an overstrained voice, his face covered in cold sweat. From there, Kira received the phone and spoke with Pastorale. Oh, okay, so Kira is still alive. And when Shannon and Cannon got their turn, Georgie and Jessica answered. Also, okay, so all of them are actually alive, I guess. I mean, I hope that Georgie and Jessica are lying. Nanjo and Kumasawa pick up as well. Okay, so I guess we can confirm that at this time, the other than the 6 people, they all survive. Okay, that's a good detail, actually. So that all members of both sides had their turn on their phone. Wait a minute. Then I think Kinso is already dead. So the story about Kinso is some nonsense that someone made up. Wait, so the murderers is one of them? Like one of the people in the jail cell? Or maybe, like maybe they carry the people to the jail cell, then they fake that, oh no, me too, I fell into the pit, or something. What if the Pastorale is insane? This is not Call of Duty Black Ops. What if the Pastorale is insane from the start and we just see his crazy dreams? What if his sick mind created all of this? All characters do not exist and Pastorale is now in the hospital and he suffers his past in the shape of main characters like bullying and everything. I actually think that so I said that magic doesn't exist, but then how do we explain when Beatrice used the late truth to confirm without evidence that something really did happen in a story? In the first episode, where they are, it was called Purgatory. I think the Purgatory, or where the game players, Pastorale and Beatrice and the others, live. I think that's is inside someone's mind. I don't know if it's Pastorale's mind or Beatrice's mind, but it seems to be like a made-up word from a real person for some purpose. I don't know, because the stories from episode 1 to 4, it was implied in this episode, I think, that there are stories that people found in the message bottle floating in the sea, but no one knows which story is true. Yeah, that's all I know for now. They wanted to talk forever, but now was not the time to chat. Krause told them that they would be hanging up for now, and those in the guest house agreed. What do you mean there's no time? You're in a jail cell. You're not going anywhere.
また何かあったら連絡する。すぐに受話器を取れるように待機していてくれ。くれぐれも用心してな。無茶なことは絶対にするんじゃないぞ。
分かったよ、父さんや。カノン君たちが無事だっただけでも儲けもんってやつ。
ふむふむ。
私たちも頑張る。父さんたちもどうか無事で。
ああ、もちろんだ。
Even though I summarize the things in the Discord, I recommend you to watch the VOD. Doesn't have to be my VODs. It can be anyone VODs. Up until episode 4. Okay, it was interesting to talk with me. Sadly, you need to go sleep. Okay, it's just thank you so much for coming. I had fun talking to you as well. And I hope you have a good sleep.
それでは一度切る。用心しろ。
With that, the phone called in. Goda and the rest of the men quickly descended the stairs, closed the shutters, and secured the strong locks on the doors. However, just as Krause had warned, there was nothing that could be done about the beautiful white window in the downstairs lounge. Oh no, what if the sniper is outside? Like the Breaking Bad. If this were to be broken, it would be easy for them to get inside. It would be hard for someone like Kinso, who hadn't hesitated at committing murder, to invade the first floor.
おじい様たちは武装している可能性が高い。部屋に閉じこもるのが最善かつ唯一の籠城方法になるね。
Okay, what if they come anyway? How are we going to defend against guns?
自ら密室に閉じこもらざるを得ないのは苦しいところだけど、相手が銃を持っていたらそれしか方法がない。
親方様は実銃のコレクションをお持ちとの話です。
そう、
あれは銃だ。
Guns!
銃だったんだ。
アメリカ！
だとしたら恐ろしい威力の銃だ。とても太刀打ちはできません。
頭を砕くなんてすげえ威力だぜ。
Did he not talk about the golden arrow? He just said gun. Interesting.
マグナム弾とかそういう類のやつかもな。
I thought a Winchester have a smaller caliber than a Magnum.
下手な飛びな
Well,
がら
I wouldn't know.
平気で貫通するかもしれねえな。
だとすればますますに部屋に籠城するべきだね。ベッドを立てかけて窓も塞ごう。
We must make bows and arrows from, I don't know, like towels and lampposts. Yep.
そこまですればいくら銃を持っていても踏み込むことはできないはず。
くそ、そんな受け身な防戦一方しかねえのかよ。くっしょ、うちの親父に上等を決めてくれて、こいつは高くつくぞ。くそじじいめ。
無理です。あんな連中に太刀打ちできるわけがありません。しかも親方様だけでなく手下も何人も。あるいはあんな連中がもっといるかも。
Okay, so if we deny magic, then we are pretty sure that Goda is the accomplice because there's no one else.
あいつらは一体なん。
Oops, sorry. Batara was filled to the brim with the urge to get revenge for Rudolph and to rush out of here to save Kide. But just by looking at how terrified Goda was, there was no doubt in him that this would be reckless. Wow, the servants are amazingly good at acting, aren't they?
兄貴だって悔しいだろ。なのにここで籠城なんて。ちくしょう。
もちろんさ。僕だって悔しいよ。両親を殺されて冷静でいられるわけがない。でもだからこそ冷静にならなくちゃいけない。僕たちが無駄に命を落とすようなことを殺された親たちが望むと思うかい？
無駄にはしない。
思うわけがない。 せめて子供だけは逃げ延びてほしいと願ってるはずだ。
Oh, Georgie, you're very logical. You are like the perfect adult.
だから僕は生き残るよ。そして警察に通報し、全てを暴く。
Yeah, tell them.
仇は法廷が取る。それが僕の復讐だ。差し違えてでも仇を取ってほしいなんて親たちが望んでいるわけもない。そうだろう。
そうだな。兄貴の言う通りだぜ。畜生クソじじいめ。何か儀式だ。俺たちがそのための生贄だって言うなら意地でも逃げ切ってその儀式を台無しにしてやるぜ。
We must make a raft out of the beds so that we can, what's it called? Ride the raft to the shore.
それでいいよ。それにバトラ君にはまだキリエさんがいる。
Oh yeah! Whoops! Both of your parents is dead. Why? I don't understand.
僕にだってシャノンがいる。
Oh, now that's optimistic.
とにかく慎重に行動してチャンスを待とう。
Yeah, but what if Shannon is the murderer?
僕たちの不用意な行動は囚われの彼らに不利益を与える可能性だってあるんだから。
That's true.
人質か。でもじい様はきっとキリエさんたちを生贄にするために捕らえたわけだろう。
Oddly enough, these grandfather groups haven't caught any of them yet for some reason.
俺たちが助けなきゃ
I know
殺され
why.
るのを待つだけ
We
じゃ
know
ないの
why.
か。
彼らが捕らえられている地下牢がどこにあるかもわからない。 シャノンもカノン君ももちろんゴーダさんも熊沢さんも知らなかった。おじい様だけしか知らない秘密の場所にある可能性が極めて高い。
Him.
そんな状況下でうろうろと歩き回るのは自殺行為だよ。
True. And it's raining outside, so it's gonna get uncomfortable. Him.
分かってるよ。それでもくそ。俺たちはここで何かが起こるまで引きこもってるしかねえってのかよ。
It'll be fun.
バトラ様のお気持ちはわかりますが、
I mean, you've got cards. Just play them until morning. That easy.
ここは安全第一で参りましょう。
True.
旦那様の話では相当古い牢屋らしいので、なんとか鉄格子を破れるかもしれないとのことでした。
Can you?
今は信じて待つ方が賢明です。
おじい様の手下が何人もいてみんな武装しているんだよね。
そうです。そして多分みんな武装を。
That's weak. Did you tell them about rabbit-eared waifu and a woman with questionable fashion choice? And the pitfall, the snake like slithering of the golden arrow. Like, did he tell them that? Goda had been able to say that Kinzo had others on his side, but he had not been able to mention that they were mostly all young women, like waifus, I mean, like witches, and committed their murders using strange magic. Okay, so he didn't tell them that. For some reason. I thought they want to push the magic narrative, so why don't he just tell them? Oh, why don't his what do we call them, like the main culprit, make him tell them? That's a lot of pronouns about the magics. Why going hush hush with the magics? If he had said that, it would only have caused the others to doubt his sanity. Okay, that makes sense. Oopsie. No, in fact, he himself still couldn't understand what he had seen and was doubting his own sanity. But regardless of sex or appearance, regardless of whether it was done with magic or a gun, the fact that those girls had followed Kinzo's orders and killed 6 people in an instant was an unshakable truth. If those people came to attack the guest house as well, what would happen? Just closing the doors and windows like this was surely meaningless. Yeah, I mean, there's a person who can make a hole in the floor. Like, Vtube, if they leave. Goda, as well as Kumasawa, the only thing left for those two who had witnessed the massacre in the dining hall was to cradle their heads, not even knowing how to interpret what they had seen. Wow. Nah. Don't make me pour tea over your head, Maria. I don't want to see Maria's face. Not one bit. Maria tried to be nice. Can she be nice? But it seemed that Kumasawa still wasn't able to clear away her confusion.
Maria, 気を使ってくれてありがとうだぜ。熊沢さんは休ませてやってくれ。
But she fantasized about killing Bartola, but are we sure that she hate Bartola because of that one, like, playful tease about being half asleep? Or is it something else? Like, did Bertoliki told her something to make her hate Bartola? Jessica too showed consideration for Kumasawa, certain of the shock she must have received after witnessing such a tragedy. But her imagination couldn't even come close to the impossible scene Kumasawa had witnessed. Nevertheless, with her mother having been killed and her father having been captured, there was no way that Jessica could stay calm either. She sealed her anxiety and sadness using her anger towards Kinso and walked irritatedly around the room.
熊沢さん、母さんは本当に死んじゃったの？
ええ、あんなひどい死に方を私は見たことがありませんとも。
Should you say that?
ひょっとするとまだ生きてて手当てをすれば助かるなんてことはないんだよな。
Well, maybe with stem cells research. Could be.
頭があんなことになって生きていられるわけがありません。そり
ゃそうだぜ。頭が砕けちまったら手当てなんて必要ねえよな。
When Goda had come flying into the guest house, overcome with agitation, he had told about the massacre in the dining hall without concealing anything. Oh, what about the magic? I would count that as concealing, no? Except, of course, except for the part about the witches and magic, which they themselves still couldn't believe. In other words, they hadn't even sugar-coated the cold-blooded way in which Nasahi and the others had died. It was too late now, but Kumasawa regretted having obviously said too much. However, while lightly shaking her head, and with a slightly painful laugh, Jessica spoke.
いや、むしろ話してくれたおかげで冷静になれたぜ。頭を砕かれちまったってところを伏せられてたら、私はひょっとすると生きてるかもしれないって言って屋敷へ向かいじいさまにて食わして、ひょっとすると殺されてたかもしれない。一抹の希望が命取りになった可能性だってあるわけさ。その意味では感謝してるよ。
本当に申し訳ございません。言葉をあまりに選ばなかったことはお詫びします。
今はいいよ。母さんはもうどうしようもないけど、父さんはまだ生きてる。カノン君もシャノンもキリエおばさんも南條先生もね。なんとか彼らを助けたいし、彼らに負担をかけないためにも余計なことをするべきではない。電話の前で待機してることが今は一番の協力になるかもしれないし。
There could be a phone call asking them to create a diversion to facilitate their escape, or perhaps the others might learn their location and call for rescue. Jessica understood that in order to act promptly when the time came, the only thing they could do for the time being was to wait in the room. This room. Oh my god. Georgie, Bartara, and Goda return. Can you open the door more gently? Having finished checking all of the locks downstairs, each of the three was holding a bunch of different objects. Guns? No? Snacks? Oh, Georgie had things like drinks, canned food, crackers, and other types of snacks that he had found in the lounge and pantry, as well as a first aid kit. Nice! All consumables that would be indispensable while they were locked down. I hope the toilet is safe to go in. Goda had a large folding ladder and carpentry tools. Those were so that in the case of emergency, they could nail over the door from the inside to seal it. Oh! If it came to that, the ladder was for escaping out the window. Damn! Okay. Already prepared. I expect nothing less. Bartola had brought up objects which could be used as weapons, such as blades? What blades? Like a sword? And poles. The kitchen knives went without saying. The disassembled table legs could be used as crabs. Did they disassemble the table? And the pole, roughly the size of a person, which had been made by taking apart a headstand. Oh, could surely be used as a spear, even though it had no point. No, the point is that it's long. Ha 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 ha. The wordplay. There was a good possibility that the enemies were carrying guns, so it was dubious whether these could be of any use. Well, we can use the table as a shield. Maybe. But it was still better than not having them, and if those things could provide at least a little peace of mind, then they could also expect some kind of calming effect from them. Then they placed beds and sofas from around the room up against the door, barricading it. They didn't go so far as to seal it up with nails. There was still the chance that Krause and the others would escape and come to meet up. They had apparently set up a barricade at the top of the stairs as well. It had been designed to create a racket so it would work in place of a warning alarm as well. That's smart. It was apparently Bartola's idea. Nice! I mean, he's smart. For that reason, they turned the TV off. What a shame that they don't have Bluetooth and headphones, so that at least we can get Maria to shut up, so that if the first floor window were to be broken, they would know by the sound. Once the switch had been turned off, all that was left was an eerie silence. Ooh. The sound of the violent wind and rain. Were they going to have to spend the whole night in such crushing suspense? The boat was meant to be coming tomorrow morning. However, judging by the weather report, the typhoon was expected to continue all day tomorrow, and the boat probably wouldn't come. The typhoon would pass in the morning of the day after tomorrow. That's a movie. In other words, the boat would be coming the morning of the day after tomorrow, as in the morning of October 6th. Is this October 4th? I don't remember. And right now, it was late at night, October 4th. Thanks, guys. They would have to spend more than 30 hours on this island, with Kinso-turned cold-blooded murderer and his weird companions prowling about. Will they survive this island? Tune in on Channel 5 or something. Even with the shutters closed, there would definitely be a little bit of light seeping out. It might let the enemy know that they were hiding here. Bartola suggested that it might be best to turn off the lights. but they had already been taken over by such a ghastly feeling just from turning the TV off. No, we must turn off the light. What if they see your shadow, the silhouette, and take a well-aimed shot? There wasn't anyone who directly challenged his proposal, but then again, there wasn't a single other person who agreed to it.
おお、テレビダメなの？
No.
ああ、悪いが我慢してくれ。敵の侵入の音を聞き逃すわけにはいかない。
つまんない。
Well, and you are creepy. Even though she had been told that her mother had died, Maria alone somehow didn't seem to feel an approaching sense of danger. It seemed she was quite displeased with having the TV turned off. I wonder what happened after her fantasy of killing her mother. Like, when was that? Like, was that near this family conference? Or did she, like, act the same, like nothing happened, but secretly hate her or something? Losa, I mean, even with a bizarre situation in front of her, she can't share our sense of danger. I am the danger. Maria is the danger, my good man. Because she's so young, that she's too far gone to battle like now. Seeing that young girl act in a way that was even slightly out of place made him feel that there was something very eerie about Maria. Oh.
とは言ったものの晩作尽きたわね。鉄格子はなんとかなりそう？
残念だが想像以上に堅牢だ。いつ頃に作られたものか知らんが、耐用年数も文句なし。実に優良な物件だよ。
Okay, I think the murderer is one of these people. Since the murderers are always different from episode 1 to 3, so I think it's a bit weird for me to say that Canon or Shannon is the murderer in this episode. But then, who? Like, if not Canon and Shannon, why would it be Kire or Krause? Or Nanjo? I mean, maybe. I mean, it can't be Goda and Kumasawa, right? Kira shook her softly. They had no moves they could make, but the mood had come just a little.
さながらここは取られた駒を置く駒置き場ですな。
Why would you say that?
打つ手はもはやありませんか。
まだよ。諦めるには早いわ。
Yeah, tell him.
思考の停止は鼓動の停止に同じよ。
Yep. Never give up. Never surrender.
だな。チェスの駒置き場に意味はないが、将棋ならば大きな意味を持つこともある。
So is it chess or shogi? Can we decide?
駒置き場の一枚の歩が相手にプレッシャーを与えることだってあるはずだ。
But we are the one who's being captured, so...
なるほど。しかし、この鉄格子はどうしようも。
私たちにはね。
Ramming speed into the bar, maybe?
でも、ここの場所を特定し、ゴーダさんに連絡することができれば、助けに来てもらうことはできるかも。
Ah, very smart.
なるほど。しかし、ゴーダさんに危険を強いることになりますな。
Well, we're not gonna place dangers on the kids.
その場合、
And Kumasawa is too
成
old.
人男性が不在になるゲストハウスのお子さんたちも不安です。
リスクを恐れるなら、事態が好転するまで塩漬けにするのも悪くない。
We're gonna die. There's a time limit. Remember? The ritual. 13 people have to die.
もっとも、損切りを恐れれば、紙切れ同然になるかもしれんがね。我々の命がだが。
親の子犬もね。私たちで何とかするからおとなしくしていなさいって偉そうに電話して、その下の根も乾かないうちに助けを求めるなんて。
I mean, they have Georgie. He's an adult to me.
実に
fully grown adult.
この後に及んではくだらんプライドなどとっくに噛み切れだ。知恵を絞ろうじゃないか。ここはどこなんだ。本当に食堂の真下なのだろうか、それとも屋敷とは異なる別の場所だろうか。
Krause, Kire and Nanjo began to discuss their plans. Cannon was squatting by the bars, solely trying to sense anyone's presence, just as he had been ordered. Shannon came close to him, and they both squatted down together, like SoraYuki squat.
気配は感じるの？
こちらに意識は向けていないけれど、比較的近くに誰かいる。
Well, can we try yelling?
それは人間？
ヤギたちだと思う。
What?
あいつらの吐息は実に賑やかだよ。
Cannon's ability to sense the presence of others was several levels above that of a human. Okay. Now you're just messing with me. He described their breathing as noisy, but Krause and the rest couldn't even pick up the slightest hint of it. Therefore, even if he had simply reported it, they would merely have dotted his ears.
捕まっちゃったね。
珍しいよ。殺されないで捕まるなんて。
今回はベアトリーチェ様がお越しにならないし。
Oh yeah! What? Sorry. What happened? The voice
親
cracked.
方様が書斎を出られるし、何が何だかわかんないね。
わかるさ。何が起ころうと変わろうと、すべてあの魔女の気まぐれと余興。結果は何も変わらないのさ。
今回は黄金鏡に行けるかな。
さあね、僕たちは脱落率が高いから。
そういえば二人で第一の番を生き延びたのってずいぶん珍しいね。
Wait, Leia. Yep.
儀式が始まってるのにこうして二人でお話できるなんてなんだかすごく珍しい気がする。
Also, very rare that that the survivors in the mansion are gathered together right after the first twilight.
そうかもね。でもそれもまた魔女の余興だろうさ。
I wonder why either Shannon and Cannon keep dying. Episode 1, 2, 3 in the first twilight.
僕たちがいつもすぐに脱落するから、今度は少し生き延びさせてからかってやろうくらいにしか思ってないよ。
But I think none of the kids, like the cousins, none of them died in the first twilight as well. I wonder what's up with that. Like, is there a reason or is it just some random chance?
また黄金鏡にはたどり着けないのかな。
どうせそうさ。下手な期待を持つとまたつけ込まれる。
そうだね。前回はカノン君がつけ込まれたもんね。
I don't remember.
僕はバカだ。
Cannon met. Oh, when he kissed Beatrice's shoe? Cannon made a sour look and turned his head. Shannon laughed softly and apologetically leaned towards his shoulder.
でもお嬢様が無事でよかったね。
第一の番を逃れただけさ。それ以降の番により無残な方法で殺されるのを待たされているだけかもしれない。それを言ったら姉さんこそジョージ様が無事でよかったじゃないか。二人で黄金鏡にたどり着けるといいね。
Wait, going to Golden Land means dying, isn't it? No?
ありがとう。
Can we not?
同じことをカノン君とお嬢様にも。
僕は期待はしてないよ。姉さんの言う通りだ。
Such a Cinderella. Cannon
あの
君。
魔女はご褒美をぶら下げて相手が右往左往するのを見て楽しんでるだけなんだ。どうせ誰も黄金鏡に行けやしない。僕がお嬢様と 黄金鏡にたどり着きたいと願ってしまったなら、あいつはそれこそ面白がって絶対に僕たちをたどり着かせたりはしないさ。
Yeah, where did she go? Beatrice.
そうだね。ベアトリーチェ様はより面白くなるように生贄の順番を考えてる。
無作為に選んでるなんて大嘘だ。あのペテン師魔女め。どうせ黄金鏡にたどり着けばあらゆる願いが叶うなんてのも嘘っぱちに決まってる。
Maybe Golden Land has never existed. It was a lie. It's like a cult. It does feel like a cult.
そんなことはないよ。黄金鏡は素晴らしいところだよ。
Yeah, sure.
行ったことあるの？
ちょっぴりだけね。
What? How?
それすらもベアトリーチェ様の戯れだったのだろうけど。
That's like, have you ever went to heaven? Yeah, just a little. Whoa, how?
どんなとこなの？
Did you take some mushrooms?
うん、素晴らしいところだよ。
Okay.
うまく説明できない安らかな夢の中みたいな世界。
Sure.
バラが咲き乱れてて美しい蝶が舞ってるような極楽みたいな感じ。
So it is whatever you want it to be? Cool.
そういう具体的なイメージのところじゃないの。
Okay.
本当に夢の中みたいなところなの。
Maybe because it is.
そこにいるときはとても穏やかで安らかでいつまでも眠ってることを許されてる。まるで休日の早朝のお布団の中みたいな感じ。カーテンの隙間から日が差してきてそろそろ起きないと思うんだけど、今日は休日だから起きなくてもいいんだって気づいて、もう一回お布団の中に潜り込む時みたいな、そんな気持ちになれる場所。
I would rather know that it's my day off and just not get up.
僕なら損したと思うな。
True! We are synchronizing.
休日なのに勘違いして起き出すなんて姉さんくらいだ。それで
うん、そこにいた時はね、満たされててとても穏やかだった。でも元の世界に戻ってくるとつい直前までそこにいたはずなのにうまく思い出すことができないの。
You could have told me that that's your experience when you took some drugs, and I wouldn't be able to differentiate between the Golden Land.
ついさっきまで見ていた夢が思い出せないのによく似てる。でもとっても穏やかで静かな世界だったことだけは覚えてるの。
それだけ？なんだ、あいつが偉そうに言う黄金鏡なんて大したことないな。
It's not a promised land.
何でも願いが叶う場所だと思ってたのに。
その通りだよ。何でも願いが叶う場所。少し違うかもしれない。何も願わなくてもいい場所が正解かもしれないね。例えばカノン君が寒くて上着が欲しいと願った時、上着をもらえればとても幸せなことだけど、そもそも暖かい部屋にいられたなら上着が欲しいなんて願う必要さえもないでしょ。黄金鏡はそういうところなの。大抵の願いは願う必要さえなくなる。全てから解放された何もかもが穏やかな世界なの。
So you're dead. So that's not different from dead. Okay.
与えられて幸せという概念さえも超越した全てから解放された世界とでも言えばいいのかな。
Isn't that just heaven?
なんだか宗教っぽい世界だな。
True. Tell her.
そしてそこでは全てが平等なの。
I can't believe I'm siding with Canon of all people.
意志ある存在は全てが平等。人間も家具も魔女もない。そこでの私は誰とも対等で公平。
That sounds like communism to me.
前を家具だからと何も自分を恥じる必要がない。すべての人間とも、そして魔女とさえ対等な本当に幸せな世界だったの。
Okay. And why isn't she like why isn't Beatrice just stay there?
うまく思い出せないけど、そこでは私ベアトリーチェ様とさえ対等な関係で良い友達でいられた気がする。
See what I mean? I criticize a lot that even the magic word or the magic story they're not consistent. So now you're saying that Beatrice could get Shannon to the Golden Land, well, briefly, but why, if it's such a good place, then why didn't Beatrice just stay there forever and don't come out and don't get power sapped by Kinso? I mean, according to the fantasy word.
あの魔女がいるならろくな理想郷じゃないよ。で、その幸せな黄金郷に姉さんはジョージ様と一緒に行きたいわけだ。おかしな話だね。黄金郷は全てが満ち足りた理想郷なわけでしょ。ジョージ様がいなくても十分に満たされてそうだけど。
True.
黄金鏡はね、とても穏やかで安らかで全てが対等で公平だけれど、
You sounds like you're in a cult.
幸せだけ実は抜けてるの。
幸せな世界じゃないの？
もちろん安らかで穏やかで公平というだけですごい幸せな世界だよ。でもそれは例えるなら全ての悩みというマイナスから解放されたゼロの世界なの。人の世はマイナスで満ちてるから、もちろんゼロというのはものすごい幸福なわけだけど、それでもゼロなの。
Okay.
贅沢だよね。それはこういう感じ。穏やかな休日の朝のまどろみの時、最愛の人も隣にいてくれて手を握っててくれたなら、もっともっと素敵な幸せになれるみたいな。
Yeah, screw the medalless people. Yep,
ご
yep.
めん、姉さんは例えが下手くそだね。バカだから。
つまり姉さんにとっての最高の幸せとはジョージ様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことってわけだ。
But I don't mind. Some gaming PC would be nice.
そしてきっとカノン君にとってはお嬢様と一緒にその世界にたどり着くことだよ。
公平な世界で二人は悩みから解放されなんだかおかしな宗教を吹き込まれてるみたいだ。
I said that. Well, I said cult, but pretty similar.
僕はもっとこう俗物的な魔法の薬を与えられると人間に生まれ変われるとか、そういう感じの世界を想像してたよ。
Okay.
行けばわかるよ。ベアトリーチェ様が本当に気まぐれな方なら、いつかきっとカノン君にも垣間見させてくれるに違いない。そうすれば姉さんの例えがよくわかるようになるから。
Sure.
ま、過剰な期待はしないことにしとくよ。いずれにせよ今回の僕たちはこれでゲームオーバーみたいだし、
Awesome.
別の機会に期待するさ。
You must insert more coin to continue.
そうだね。おかしな期待を持つとベアトリーチェ様にまたつけ込まれる。何も考えずただ運命に身を任せるのが私たちには一番かもしれない。
Are they actually saying that they have nothing to do with this murder in this episode?
僕たちはただ
That feels like it to
チェ
me.
スの駒であればいいんだ。何を考えても考えなくてもどうせ魔女のチェス盤からは逃れられない。後のお役目はどういびり殺されるか ただ待つことだけさ。そんな僕らに黄金鏡の夢なんて虚しすぎる。
そうだね。
I like how this music has seagulls in the background. Canon shrugged his shoulders, then told Shannon to leave him alone because she was interfering with his duty, distancing himself from her. Realizing her thoughtlessness in bringing up such an inappropriate topic and instead hurting Canon, Shannon bit her lower lip and stared at the ground. She wouldn't bother him anymore. She went off and squatted in a corner by herself. Why do we have to squat? At that moment, Canon twitched. Twitch, you say? Anyway, I would consider that a scene transition. So let's end it.
僕たちはただ何を後のそんな。
ごめん。
Here? We'll start from here. Hear me. That was fun. Not as fun as seeing Mario being creepy, but it was fun nonetheless. But it's late, so we'll end it here for now. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Please take care of yourselves, and goodbye.